Okay, yeah, this is Arunokun. Actually, this is not my first time. I just wish to join the call again because
Okay.
I missed
Yeah,
one or two in the last time, so
no
I need
problems.
to join the session again. So thank you.
No problems. People do join it a few times. So just curious to see how many of you are completely new.
Okay, so my name is Toby Obini,
Hi, Toby.
and this is originally my first time with Johnny.
First time.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Welcome.
Hi, could you hear me?
Yes.
I'm Kaz from based in Japan, and that's first time to joining some DAO, and of course at Bankless. So it's very looking forward to having the great opportunities or great having the meet for you guys. Or so thanks for the joining. Thanks for the yeah,
No
great giving
problem.
such a kind of opportunity. So
BanklessDAO, BanklessDAO, yokoso. Welcome.
yeah, nice to meet you.
Marvel speaks Japanese, so you can speak Japanese with him.
Well, really, sounds good.
少しなとまいや日本語が下手ですね。
Because you're wearing the Japan hat, right?
Oh, you are. Then
Yeah,
you're
you're
pig.
pig. Yeah, you're pig. Yeah. So that's impressive.
So think Decade will start the session in a few minutes, and then we'll take it from there. So anybody else? So we've got 1, 2 that's new. What? Who else? That's about it. Yeah. Okay.
No, I think Keith. No?
Keith?
Keith McGinnis. Hello, Keith. Come in, Keith. Unmute and say hello to your crowd. Maybe you've been here before. I don't know. I don't remember Keith McGinnis.
They may be in a situation where they can't hop on mic right now, but that's okay.
Yeah, you can also use a chat feature. Yeah.
That's right. Feel free to introduce yourself via chat or when the breakout sessions come around.
Yes, Keith cannot speak right now, and he is apologizing for the delay, and he does not need to apologize because we are always rugged in this space. We are so early. Rugging is common.
Mic check.
Hey, it's Ernest. Yeah, it's Ernest. Welcome, Ernest. Yes, I think I could hear your mic just fine. We're all ready to go if you are ready to go.
Marvel, is it actually coming through clear on your side? It kind of sounds like he's underwater on my side.
Oh, I could hear it very clear. Mic check, mic check.
Yeah, he did seem a bit muffled on my side too. Think, can you say something again?
No, GM,
No, very
deep and muffled.
Clear. Yeah, muffled.
Hold on, let me.
Where are you?
Far
away.
Usual location, but I'm having a little bit of trouble with my laptop. So just give me 1 sec. Let me switch.
We've got a smaller group in here today, so I think we've got the flexibility to take a few minutes.
Yeah. Arun, don't worry about being here the second time. There are people here who've been about a few times, and you always pick up something new every time you come. So new joiners is not just a one-off thing. You're welcome to come as many times as you like. It's a lot of info for one session, to be honest.
And it's amazing how fast things change. And so even though, I've been here for a while and I've been attending, there's something new I pick up each and every time. Like I was not aware that Quiet Fox had many names. That's a joke, Quiet Fox. And mute and quip. Quip,
Yes,
you're supposed to be
quip.
quipping.
I have got loads of names. Half the names I don't even know I have. They
She's a secret
disappear.
agent.
I'm a secret agent. Oh, come on, you can't say that. It's too obvious. Oh dear.
I think Oxify broke your code though. You know, he knows you. Yeah, I just suspected when you were using that PFP that looked so phony. I had
Hey, come on.
I had to get you into this good one that you wear now. Yeah.
It's okay. I think is back on. Mic check.
Check, mic check.
Check.
Oh, we're in
Check,
business.
check,
Through,
check,
loud and
check.
clear.
Very good. Loud and clear. 5 by 5.
Awesome. You might probably see 2 think decades. Don't worry about that. It's still me. I'm using one computer for the presentation and then another one for the audio. So
Look at you thinking outside the box.
yeah. Well,
well done.
Thank you. Well, I mean, we are ready to go. GM, everyone. Welcome to the BanklessDAO new joiner session. This is an onboarding and conversation, I guess, platform or call dedicated to all of our awesome new people who are joining the DAO and who are looking to contribute one way or the other, or just explore our relentless community. And so welcome, strap in, and let's have a very nice onboarding session. So I am sharing my screen for those of us who want to follow the discussion closely. So this session, we usually have 3 major sections. So the first one is the hype section, second one is the vibe section, and the third one is the LFG section. So the hype is basically, we walk you through the DAO from a bird's eye perspective, right? So we give you a general overview of what the DAO is all about. And this is really great for a lot of the very, very new folks who have just entered the community, because I know if you enter the community the first week, you are going to get lost. The vibe session is where we have a one-on-one conversation with you, where you ask us all of your questions. We also share some experience with you, and also help answer some of the questions. And then the LFG section is where finally we all go back to the Discord and then continue the conversation and continue the exploration from there. And so once again, you are welcome. All right, so moving on to the next slide. If you can see my screen right now, this is BanklessDAO, right? And at this point, again, I have to welcome you to BanklessDAO. And what is BanklessDAO? So BanklessDAO essentially is a decentralized autonomous organization. In essence, we are an open community that stewards the bankless movement, right? And the bankless movement is all about progressing the world towards a future of greater freedom. And it's all about creating legit crypto media and helping to onboard people to crypto and Web3 in the right way. And as a DAO, we are built on certain principles. And so education is one key principle. Integrity is one such principle. Decentralized governance is another one. And culture is another one. And so if you look at my screen, this slide is, I intentionally did it this way. You would see that BanklessDAO, the DAO, is resting or sitting on top of these principles. So community members are highly encouraged to look and adopt these principles. We educate and also get educated. We operate on integrity. We operate governance in a decentralized way. And we are very, very good vibes only. Our culture is very, very interesting. Okay, so my next slide is the Bankless Nation itself. So this is the Bankless Nation. And the Bankless Nation, as we've seen, covers the entire crypto space, right? And as you saw, one of our principles is all about education. So we make sure that we create content or educational stuff that covers most of the relevant and important aspect of crypto, and we use that as a way to onboard people, right? So we create user-friendly on-ramp services that onboard everyday people to crypto and Web3. Now, this is also an NFT. So, by the way, if you like it, you can actually buy it on OpenSea. It's a collection of 5 NFTs called the Bankless Locations, and it has a lot of memetic and cryptic messages in there, right? So, if you look at this, it's very interesting. It covers almost everything, a lot of things in the crypto space. You see the Bitcoin Citadel, you see Mount Doge, right? You see everything, the centralized exchanges, etc. Now, I'm happy FTX is not in here. Now, if you go to the top left, if you go to the top left corner, you see BanklessDAO right on the frontier lands, right? And we are on the frontier land because we like to refer to ourselves as people that are, or pioneers that are on a journey to the frontier of internet money and internet finance, right? So we are right on the frontier lands. And you would see that BanklessDAO is anchored to Bankless LLC HQ. So we popularly call them Bankless HQ. And the Bankless HQ, the DAO has its origins from Bankless HQ. And so that is the popular Bankless podcast. And so by Ryan and David, they are the two founders of the Bankless DAO. And so the Bankless HQ is now one media node within the Bankless DAO ecosystem. So the DAO has become so big that the HQ or the podcast is just a media node within the bigger ecosystem. And so the difference here, it's very important. Bankless DAO is the steward of the Bankless mission. And Bankless HQ has now become one of the media nodes within the Bankless DAO. So yes, if you're interested in this NFT, you can check it out. So next slide is the DAO. So let's look at the DAO. The DAO operates on, or the DAO consists of organizational units. And this is important because this will help you get to know more about the DAO and how to potentially navigate the DAO properly, because it tells you how or where to go if you want to get involved, right? And so the DAO runs on guilds and more recently departments, so guild/department, projects, and the grants committee. So these are all organizational units within the DAO. So you can go to guilds and departments to contribute. And guilds and departments are basically, so let me pick guilds. Guilds are basically like talent pools where people meet based on their various interests. We have 14 guilds, which I'll touch on briefly. Departments are kind of like the core infrastructure organizational units of the DAO. So they help the DAO operate on a day-to-day basis. Projects are mainly, I guess, organizations that that helps the DAO in terms of I'm looking for a certain word, but they promote the mission and the vision of the DAO, right? The DAO is not just an educational community. It also creates a lot of projects. And the grants committee is basically the funding organization unit within the DAO that helps with deploying various funds within the community. So if you have a project, you can actually prepare a proposal, and once the community accepts it, you can go to the grants committee for funding. Okay, so now this is BanklessDAO in a snapshot, right? Just one page, the DAO. So after we've gotten to know about the organizational units of the DAO, this gives us a little bit of a more breakdown in details of some of the things that the DAO is doing. And I'm going to start from the top left. You would see that the token of the DAO is held by over 5,000 wallet addresses or holders. This is very important as it indicates the interest, right? The more people want to get access or have access to your token, the more you know you are doing something impactful. The DAO also creates products. And so I did indicate that we are definitely on the frontier of internet finance and money. So if you enter the DAO, there are certain products that the DAO has created. Some are no more, like we used to have the indices. So yes, if you are interested, if you're a product person and you have a specific product in mind that can help people go bankless, you can, and you are within the community, there's a high probability that you can get a team to help you create such a product. Projects, yes, projects are the order of the day in the DAO. We have over 30 plus projects that are all helping the DAO achieve its mission and vision one way or the other. Governance, we have over 3,000 voters. One of the most active governance ecosystem in the world right now. That is BanklessDAO. And so you would hear over and over and over again discussion around governance. Yeah, that's because governance is very interesting. And as you saw, it's one of the core principles or values of the DAO. 14 guilds, 20 plus media nodes, all come together towards one goal. And that is what educating and onboarding the world to Web3. Okay, so how do we measure DAO growth? There are a lot of ways to measure DAO growth. I'm just going to mention a very few, or maybe two. The first one is the new people that are joining the DAO, right? I think three weeks ago, I had an interview with someone who they are preparing an onboarding, or they are researching DAOs, and they were fascinated by the number of people or how active BanklessDAO is, even though we are in a very, deep bear market, and we were just having a conversation. And yeah, and they kept asking, how is it that people are joining BanklessDAO monthly basis, and the activities within the Discord is fascinating. Compared to other DAOs that they are researching, it's almost like a ghost town in those DAOs. And I guess it all ties into the culture of the DAO and how the DAO runs. It's very decentralized. So the new people that are joining the DAO is one of the ways that we use in tracking the growth of the DAO. And as you can see, I took the number of people with the guest pass tag, which is the tag that we give to new people that join the DAO from last year, November, and I just created a graph out of it. And as you can see, this August, right, we had like the highest number of people joining the DAO. In that month alone, there were close to almost 600 people joining the DAO. That's crazy. So I mean, if you look at it month on month, yeah, it's relatively a very interesting the number of people that are joining BanklessDAO. So, and that has what has been the reason why we've had to have the new joiner session, because people join in and they are looking for ways to contribute and they get missing quite easily. So yeah, it's a testament to that. DAO governance is also another very interesting area that indicates, how the DAO progresses. Because governance essentially is like the center of everything that we do in the DAO. It's how we actually coordinate, it's how we communicate, it's how we move everything forward. And so if you enter the DAO, I mean, and especially if you are someone who is very interested in governance and you are in BanklessDAO, you've entered into BanklessDAO, I think you found yourself in a very interesting place, right? To learn and actually participate in decentralized governance in a lot of ways. And there are governance discussed in various levels, from projects to guilds to the DAO itself, right? So usually governance in the DAO happens in three ways. There is general discussion in the Discord. Most of those things move to a draft proposal, which is posted on the forum. And then some of them move, especially those that require funding, they move to snapshots. And if you check currently, we are around number 12 on Snapshot as some of the active DAOs in governance on Snapshot. We are number 12. When we launched last year, we were somewhere around number 4th. So yeah, it's a highly governance-centric community. And if you love governance, you are at the right place. If you check the voting, for example, you would see that total votes, we've exceeded over 15K, voters over 3K. And you check that the wallet address holders, right, were around 5,000. And if you check the number of votes cumulatively over 3,000, that's quite impressive. And if you check the average numbers per vote, that's around 379. If you compare this to other DAOs, it's it's really, really interesting. So welcome, and we are happy to have your ideas and thoughts and input in the governance processes of BanklessDAO. And we need it because we operate in a very democratic way. All right, so as a community culture, I did indicate from the beginning that one of the pillars or one of the core values of the principles that the community is built on is culture. BanklessDAO, in my opinion, is one of the most culturally diverse DAOs in the world right now. And I wouldn't even I'll go beyond DAO, right? Like organization wise. And so, yeah, it's like all of these cultures that have come together to build or work towards achieving one objective or one goal. And as we know, as a community, we can't boast of culture if NFTs are not part of the community. And NFTs are culture, right? So we have various NFTs that have come out of BanklessDAO. And community members are very, very NFT centric. So if you look at top left is the chippies, and these are unique looking avatars that are created for members by members. So if you are interested and you like any of this, you can reach out to Chippy. It's now a community on its own, but it came out of BanklessDAO. And this is unique in the sense that people are able to identify you without even looking at your name. So that's how unique these GPs are. So across the entire community, people can easily recognize you without your name based on your chippy. We have the DAO Punks NFT, which is another very, very interesting application of an NFT. And what the DAO Punks NFT project does is that it gives people micro grants or grants for them to transition from Web 2 to Web 3. So if you are here and you are looking to go in full-time Web 3, or you actually have a project that you've started in Web 3 and you are looking for a grant or a micro grant to support it, take a look at the DAO Punks NFT project. They also have their Discord community now. And they gave out their last grant a couple of weeks ago or months, weeks ago. So check out when the next grant would come. And who knows, you might get grant for your journey to transition to full-time Web3 or DAOing. Okay, so we have this is one of the top, the right side. This is one of the Bankless location NFTs. And yes, I'm not going to talk much because as you can see, it has so much going on in there. And anytime you look at it, I guarantee you'll find something new and something interesting in the crypto ecosystem. So yeah, check it out. If you want it, you can get it on OpenSea. Merch, we don't talk culture. We also wear culture. So we have a lot of merch that you can buy. And you can actually check out with bank. You can buy with bank on Polygon, so you don't have to pay any gas. But most importantly, you can buy with bank, right? So we have an internal striving economy powered by our bank token, and you can buy merch and wear the culture. And we have merch for various weathers or seasons. So whether you are in winter, summer, etc., there's a bankless merch for that. You can get it on Ultrasound Merch Store or Meta Factory. So that is that. Bankless Academy, I did indicate education as the first guiding principle for us as a community. And so, yes, you are, it's so fascinating. The sort of the amount of educational content that is coming out of BanklessDAO, right? Currently, at the biggest media DAO in the world right now, right? And I think we got here due to the sheer volume of educational content that we produce. as a community, and as a DAO. And as such, we have begun to build protocols, platforms that help disseminate these educational content. One such protocol, and I use the term protocol specifically, because it's not just an education platform, it's more than that. It's Bankless Academy, right? And Bankless Academy has a lot of core courses that you can take, especially for beginners who are starting out their journey in Web3, and even for seasoned Web3 folks who want to maybe refresh their minds and get new information on some of the things that we already know. I just tweeted on my Twitter handle. I'll finish all of the 6 courses, and I've minted. It comes with a badge. You mint a badge. I just tweeted that I'm happy because there was so many new information that I was coming across, even like being here for a lot of years. So check it out. And the protocol level is that you are also able to fork the academy site to build on it, right? And so this is another thing that makes it very interesting, and that makes it unique than your normal like education platform where you just go there and learn courses. You can, if you have a community, and you have specific courses or specific way that you want to educate the community, you can actually fork the entire platform of the academy and build on it. So reach out to the academy project. It's available. They have a community in the Discord or a channel in the Discord. So reach out to them if you're interested in any of this. Also, if you're interested in contributing in this project, feel free to reach out to them or collaborate with them in any way possible. So that is academy. By the way, I would highly recommend the Web3 security wallet to a lot of the new folks that are entering, because the scamming and then the hacking is so much in the Web3 space. My next slide is the International Media Notes project, one of the most impactful projects in the crypto ecosystem right now. Why is it impactful? Well, it's impactful because less than 5% of the world population speaks English. And as we have known, most of the crypto content, crypto education is denominated in the English language, right? So how do we reach the critical masses, the frontier places that actually need the technology more? Enter the International Media Notes project. So this is a project from BanklessDAO that makes sure that all of the educational contents, the Web3 culture, reaches every language or every part of the world. So yes, so if you are here and you don't even speak English, you can join a media node that is spreading the Bankless mission and vision, or that is building within the community. And one such notable node is the Bankless Africa project that has gradually grown to become one of the biggest media DAO in Africa currently. And so yes, it's so fascinating what the International Media Notes project is doing and what they are achieving. So regardless of whatever language you speak, there's a possibility you can find your place here, or you can find home here. If there is no language in the node yet, here is the kicker. You can actually start a language node in your language, right? So check it out if you are interested. Also join Bankless Africa if you are if you are interested in the mission to drive crypto education and culture in Africa, because as we know, Africa is one of the places that really benefit from blockchain or going bankless, I guess. Okay, so this is these are various protocols in the ecosystem that we work with or that we have liquidity on. So if you want to buy the bank token, you can get it on Uniswap. If you have bank token, you want to put it to use, maybe provide liquidity, you can do that on Balancer, you can do that on Uniswap. So these are some protocols that we are on. So this is a general overview. I did indicate it's just a general overview of the community or the scale of the community. It does not do justice to cover everything, but it is a way of, I guess, sparking some sort of interest in you so that you can further explore and you can also further ask questions. So thank you very much. And I would hand over the mic to Quiet Fox. Over to you.
Thanks, Think. So Think has given you an overview, sorry, an bird's eye view of what happens in BanklessDAO. I'm just going to take you very quickly through the internal workings of BanklessDAO. So exactly what the details are, or the the minutiae of what happens inside a BanklessDAO. So right, so BanklessDAO, we'll start with seasons. BanklessDAO's work, the way we work, a start date and an end date to everything that we want to do within a specific time frame, we call the seasons. And seasons have changed from the beginning of the DAO till now, but we are now sort of like steady at about 3 months per season. Sorry, 3 months per season. So we are now in season 6. And after season 4, we started introducing something called a gap week, because like Zephi and Marvel talked about, right? We can get really overworked because there is so much to learn and so much to do, and we're so enthusiastic that a lot of us suffer from burnout. So the BanklessDAO actually introduced a gap week at the end of every season, just 1 week of gap week. Not that we actually rest, but at least we don't have to go for meetings or community calls and stuff like that. So we are right now in season 6. So what are the levels in BanklessDAO? We have basically 3 or 4 levels, but there's only 3 that's very, very relevant to what working within the DAO. The first is a guest pass. A guest pass is a pass that you have for about 14 days. There are lots of things in the proposal and going around about what we can do with the best guest pass. So this might change as the days go by. But as of now, your guest pass given to you by an L2 can last for 14 days, and it can be renewed as many times as you want. And to be a guest pass is only because you do not have any bank. So you don't need to have bank as a guest pass holder, and you can literally do attend most of the meetings, look at a lot of the channels. There's only very few that are gated. So L1 is someone who has got 35,000 bank in their wallet, either in ETH or in Polygon blockchain, or in Uniswap, in any form, in any particular form. As long as you're 35K bank, you are L1. L1 means you don't have to worry about renewing your pass. You are in, and a lot of the channels open for you. Literally all the channels open for you. L2 is slightly different. L2 is you have to be an L1, which means you have to have 35 banks. But L2 is nominated. It is special because you can only become an L2 when you have contributed enough to the DAO, and other L2s nominate you to become an L2, and then you are voted in by other L2s and L1s. And even guest pass holders can actually vote. And then once they vote and you've met your quorum, you will become L2. Now L2 is quite powerful because it allows you to have a lot of things that you can change within the DAO. It can help you create roles. It can help you create channels. It can allow you to give guest pass to guest pass holders. So there's lots of other controls or power, as we call it, that we have for L2s. L3s and above are whales. These are guys that own more than 150,000 banks, and they actually are one of those people that actually provide liquidity for bank. They play a very, very important role to allow us to move bank around and change it between ETH. Mostly it's between ETH in the protocols that are open, like Uniswap and Balancer. Okay, so Think already said that we have got guilds, we've got projects, we've got departments. When you are a newcomer into the DAO, the first thing you need to go and do is decide what guilds or projects or departments you would like to contribute to or you would like to know. You go into the channel called General, go to Role Select, and Role Select will open up all the guilds and departments. You have a whole load of them, and they'll also open up projects. And all of these are actually defined by icons. So whenever you go and click an icon, then that particular channel opens up for you. Most of the channels are closed or what you call it, depressed. So when you click on a role, then that channel opens up and you can see all the different channels within that particular guild or project. Okay. Now, if you are really, really brave, then you can go into this role, which is called the fire hose. And the fire hose will basically open every single channel and guild and department. And I would recommend not to do this because you will be overwhelmed. But I think Marvel said he did it once and then decided, no, he'll start choosing channels. So go ahead, pick the channel that you want, pick a few, go inside and introduce yourself, and then find out whether that's what you'd actually like to do. And if you don't like it, go and find another channel. Now, one of the things that we do is first moves. What is our recommendation for you to get incorporated or integrated within the DAO? The first thing to do is attend community calls. Community calls happens every Friday at 3 p.m. UTC, and it basically gives you an overview of what is happening within the DAO and the main things that have happened within that week in the DAO. So it's on Twitter Space, and you also can go to the DAO Amphitheater Voice channel. So try to attend this every Friday, and it just gives you a view of what else is happening, what are the most active guilds, and what are the most active projects, what are the things that we're talking about. So that's a good overview. The second thing that you do is you attend the meetings of the guilds or the projects that you have picked in your role select. It is overwhelming, but if you attend the meetings, you will get to know people and people will get to know you. And although it can be, how do you say, almost double Dutch because they speak a language of acronyms and idioms that you may not understand, just keep at it and then you'll get to know what's happening. And like I said, you'll get to know people and then you can start talking to them, DM them, try to find out a little bit more, and you get into the DAO. Now, how do you find these meetings? You have to go to the calendar, which is another one of the channels in the Discord. And if you hit the calendar, it'll give you a list of about 2.5 days of every meeting within the DAO. And if you click that and say, and register for it, then it will send you a DM to say that you've actually registered for this meeting. And the other people that you need to know in the DAO are these guys called talent coordinators. Talent coordinators are people within the guilds that, what you call it, hold on. Sorry, talent coordinators are people who are dedicated within each individual guild, and they are tasked with actually looking for talent for their particular guild. So if you have like an education guild, you can go and find the education guild talent coordinator, and they all have meetings. They have these things called office hours that you can actually go and talk to them. So they have an office hours here. And if you see anyone in the office hours, they're usually a talent coordinator. Please go in there, talk to them. They'll be able to direct you to different the talent coordinators that you probably might be interested in. Okay. These are some of the names of the talent coordinators, but don't worry about it. We can give you a guide a little later. So some of the reasons that you are actually here is because you want to earn bank tokens. So very briefly, how do we earn bank tokens? We earn bank tokens through tipping, which is like again, what Think talked about, it is a culture of the DAO to actually tip people for literally anything. And again, I'll introduce you to, you all know Marvel, he's the best tipper in the DAO. And we also do something called Coordinate. Now, Coordinate is a peer-to-peer reward system that happens every once a month DAO-wide and at an ad hoc basis guild-wide. So here we will actually reward our peers with sort of effectively bank tokens. That's one way you can, and even if you are a guest pass holder, you are allowed to take part in the Coordinate. The others are bounty boards where guilds post jobs that they would like people to do, and they will designate a certain amount of banks. You go to the bounty board, find out a job that you feel that you'd like to do, and then indicate your interest, and then you'll be able to get your bounty when you have completed what they're asking for. The other way is to become a role holder or a champion in a guild or a project or a department. And the third way is to actually, like Think also indicated, is to start your own project. If you have an idea that you'd like and you think that the DAO would benefit from it, then you come up with a proposal, give it to the grants committee, they'll put it to a vote and see whether you meet quorum. And if you do, and if you have a certain amount of bank that you'd like for that particular project, the grants committee will take you through that. So you can actually start your own project. For the DAO to run smoothly, we have lots of tools that we use. And a list of them are here. We do the Guild XYZ for POAP distribution, Sesh for calendar events, Bounty Board that I've talked about. Collabland is where tipping comes in. Coordinate is your peer-to-peer reward system. Sobol is your overall banking, overall organization review. It gives you an idea of where Bankless is and how Bankless is structured. Then you have the snapshot, which is the governance voting protocol. You have forums where we actually submit proposals that we feel that we would like to change, or we'd like to have a project, or even things like we want to change the constitution of the DAO. We'll actually come up with a forum proposal where people discuss the pros and the cons, or if they feel that they have got a problem with it, then the people who have actually put up the proposal will try to clarify what they're actually trying to do. So, so all these tools, how do you know what to do? So the education department holds a how-to sessions for all these tools weekly basis, at least 2 or 3 times a week. We have how-to sessions on all of these. So you can actually find them in the event calendar or in the edu department Notion page, or go and check these channels, the learning opportunity channels or the get involved channels or the new joiner session channels. They will be posted every week. What sessions are going to be conducted for the following week. Okay, very quickly, obviously we have social media. We are a media DAO, and we have the usual suspects. We have Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, but the most popular one is Twitter. We actually also have Telegram, TikTok, and a lot of our content can be found on YouTube. Also, the DAO comes up with a lot of podcasts that you can actually review what's happening within the DAO. So you have things like the Podcast Hatchery, you have Making Bank, Podcast Africa, the Quorum, which was actually changed, and you have publications, mostly on the Substack, and you have, again, you have podcasts, you have social media, you have publications. So whichever is the one that you enjoy, go and take a look at it, read it, subscribe to it. They're all on Substack, and then you should be able to get an idea of what's going on. In the publications, the one that I would recommend is the weekly roll-up, which is a little bit of a review of the community call and everything that has happened within the DAO. But all of these, if your what you call it, your bent is centralized law, is law, go and do centralized law. If it's arts, if it's NFTs, go to centralized arts. If it's like the state of the DAO gives you an overview of what DAO is outside of BanklessDAO, the DAO community. And then you have the DeFi download, which is actually a one-stop DeFi 101, and it's project announcements and tokenomics tutorials and things that will help you understand what's happening with the Web3. So sorry if I went too fast, but I think the most exciting bit is coming up in a few minutes. So everyone, welcome to BanklessDAO and enjoy the adventure. Right. So what we're going to do right now is I need to get a consensus. I think there's a lot of us. So I'm going to separate us into 2 breakout rooms, and each breakout room will have at least 3 people who are new. And I think that might be better. It'd be too big to have all of you in one breakout room. So I'm going to hit the breakout room screen, and you will be, how do you say, rugged into the individual breakout rooms. And we'll meet again in about 20 minutes. Okay, so I shall open the rooms now.
Well, I see Ernest here. I'm going to leave the facilitation to you, sir. Mic check. Loud, clear, and crisp, sir.
Okay, am I being heard? Okay, so as I was saying, sorry, my environment is kind of noisy. So I'm actually new to DAO, so I've been into blockchain for a while, coming to 2 years now. I'm Nigerian, so basically I've been writing about happenings in blockchain technology generally. I worked for some African news outlets for a while, okay, but when it comes to DAO especially, kind of a new sport for me. I've not really gone in deep into DAO. So that's it.
I'm actually here saying that I think there's a lot of people that have disappeared and we're a smaller group. And I think there's only about 3 people who are new. So I would like to suggest that maybe in about 5 minutes, I close the rooms and we all just talk in the main room. What do you think? Yeah, because I think because the other place, I just went into the other room and there's only one person that's new. The other one left or got kicked out. And the second person that I didn't recognize actually has been here before. So if you're okay with that, I'm going to go to the other room and propose the same thing. And then I'll kick everybody back into the main room. Okay. All right, good. All right. See you in a bit.
Yeah, same here. I also can't
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me? Can you hear me now? Yeah. Yes. I'm Michael. I'm a Nigerian also. Yes. So I've been in the group, in the Discord group for a while now, and I've been there, observing, looking at everything, join guilds, I got to know about the BanklessDAO from a friend. So he actually gave me the pass and asked me to, to explore, to check, to go through all the rooms and everything. So I've been there for a while and I've been like, what's actually going on here, actually. So I don't know if there is something I can actually, learn, because I actually for a while now I observed that people, doing DAO are actually people who have one of two talents or the other, maybe probably design, maybe people who can design, people with skills. Let me say people with general with skills. So right now I have no digital skill, like, I'm not new to blockchain, I trade the financial market, I trade I trade crypto, but I don't actually have a knowledge about building stuff like that. So I don't know if there is a talent coordinator that can really help me with that, because I would love to actually participate in the BanklessDAO. I would love, actually. So I don't know if there is a way I can actually, bring up a skill and start learning stuff. Is there a room? Is there a way for I can do that? Okay, no problem.
A lot of Cantonese, but I wouldn't call myself fluent. So I don't know if that would really qualify me as someone who would be able to start an international meeting node in Hong Kong, because Cantonese is the dominant language. I have a lot of friends here who I think I could, feasibly onboard, but I just don't know if that's feasible. What do you?
Yeah, I think there's a couple thoughts that jump to my mind. Other people can certainly chime in. But at one point in time, we had geographic locations of starting onboarding by geographic location, and Hong Kong would certainly fit that. We do have a Chinese international media node already. I do realize there's some challenges for politics involved on a global movement such as ours, but I think there's enough room out there within the communities, perhaps, that it's already going, Craig. So I would suggest that you kind of look over there to Jenga Jojo, maybe, and have a conversation through translators first. Oh, you already did.
I had a chat with Jenga Jojo. Yeah, it was really good. I talked to him when I first joined. The thing is, in the rest of China and Taiwan, they speak Mandarin. So I know already in the Chinese international media node, they're speaking Putonghua, which is Mandarin. Cantonese is the traditional form of Chinese, and it's pretty much only spoken in Hong Kong now. It's pretty much, that's the only place in the surrounding area, Guangdong province, Shenzhen. Other than that, Cantonese is not spoken anywhere else. So I poked my head in the Chinese international media node, but then again, I can't read. Like, speaking Chinese is hard enough. Reading Chinese is really hard for a Westerner. It's really difficult. So I don't know how much I could contribute to that international media node beyond like.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
But most Hong Kongers do speak Mandarin, don't they?
Yeah, but it's broken Mandarin, and it's really not their chosen language. For, like, I gotta say, people in Hong Kong don't want to speak Mandarin unless they absolutely have to, because they feel like their culture is dying. Like I said, Cantonese is only spoken in the Guangdong province, which is basically Hong Kong and Shenzhen, and it's really a dying language, especially with the death grip of China kind of taking over the once autonomous region of Hong Kong. So, like for example, if I'm here and I ask one of my friends to teach me Mandarin, they'll say learn Cantonese.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that.
I
And
think
it's cultural preservation.
I understand that. But I think with respect to the media nodes, I think the media nodes can only get up if you have a certain amount of people that are actually willing to form that community. So it's a matter of you can start it up and then see exactly how many people actually want to form a Cantonese community. Because the strength of a media node depends on the number of people that are actually joining it. That's why you have the African, the African media node, and it's strong. And we've got Spanish and all of that. So that's probably, where you're coming from. It's whether you'll have the amount of people to actually build, how do you say, come to it, build it, create it, and continue it. So that would be your challenge.
Well, another advice that I would like to add to the conversation is to understanding the context of where you are and how to operate within that context or that geographic location. It's very important. Example, in Africa, we realize that some of the local languages in Africa is spoken, not written. And it will be very difficult for you to get people or educate people if you write or educate people in a written format. And so we realize that then audio visual is the way to go, right? And so we created a podcast in one of the local languages. So my advice to you is to, you understand your context, you understand where you are. So look at the medium that would best suit them and try to create your content and distribute using that medium. So if most people can't read, but they understand the language, all right, my advice is always then the audio way is the best way to go. So that could be either starting a podcast or even starting like a meetup, online meetup to start, stuff. So that's what I want to add to it.
Got it. Thanks for adding. I appreciate that. I just, I'm afraid to meet the wrong people though. I don't want to bring a bunch of random people into the thing. But anyway, I'm just thinking ahead. I think maybe what might be more useful would be for me to bring migrant workers into their respective international media nodes. For example, Bahasa Indonesian and Tagalog, which I think we already have those.
I think he's frozen up.
Can you hear me now?
Does anybody else have any questions while we wait for Craig to come back on?
I'm pretty sure. Hear and see. Yeah, maybe it's quite for that is getting right. Greg, we can hear you all right.
Oh right, yeah, I'm wrong.
Other questions that we might have from anybody that's a early timer here?
I'm not hearing anybody
Okay,
speak
I
up. That
think
might be it.
if there are no questions, can we close for today?
I'll second that. You know, like I do.
You're the
Good-
second king.
good
You're the
vibe.
second
I
king.
would bet
vibe.
on this. I would bet
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah, thank you, Quiet Fox. Thank you, Ernest. Oliver, welcome
not-
everybody.
Yeah, I'm not sure what
Yeah.
happened to the others. They seem to have sort of like,
Maybe it was rug time. You know, it's
Yeah,
always
maybe it
rug
was rug
time
time.
within the Discord and Zoom and technology. Good
We
luck to you, Craig. And if there is impressions that you'd like to share about onboarding session or welcome from consensus to BDAO, anything that would point us in a stronger, better direction, please let us know.
Absolutely. I'm really happy for the welcoming I've got here so far. And I mean, this is my vacation, but I can't come here and not create content. I can't come here and just sit idly by. That's not I'll never sit idly by. I have to be actively contributing to something. So you guys will be familiar with me. I'll just say that. So
I think
Sounds
it's
like you're a great
cause.
candidate.
Yeah.
Great candidate for Web3.
Yeah, and if you haven't voted on the forum yet, Craig, get over there and vote. We need about 7 or 8 more votes so we
Marvel's
can
getting
get
his
this.
plug in. Yep.
Yeah, I have to have my commercial, my shameless shill for. I don't want to see Ernest have to go through more work simply because we didn't reach quorum. So I think we're ready for it.
In the Education Guild?
No, it's in the forum proposal. We have to reconstitute ourselves for season 6. It should have been a slam dunk, but in the DAO, nothing is a slam dunk.
Slam dunk.
Yeah, so it's just a struggle, and we'll just keep shaping it until we find the magic key that unlocks the treasure chest. We shall not be stopped, right, Ernest? We shall overcome. Education
That's
is
right.
a must for an education media DAO, and training teachers is just so critical. Yeah, everybody will. It's just the words we use to describe what we're doing and how much bank we can use to reward people and retain them. You know, that's the question. It's not that, you know, it's not going to stop. It's just what's the more efficient, best way to motivate people to become teachers and be retained as teachers, in my opinion. But what do I know? I'm just an old guy hanging on for dear life.
Well,
Take care, everybody.
I'm checking out the proposal now, guys. Just to let you know. Got it.
Right. See you guys around the DAO. Thanks for attending
everybody.
today's session.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
words, and then you can just maybe, have it almost like a template, and then you can kind of tweak it based on, I don't know if I'm oversimplifying. I don't really understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I can explain. And hey, Ernest, how's it going?
Hey, Ernest.
So, hey, just talking with Droves through sort of ways of sort of integrating the podcast work into some of the ThriveCoin recognition stuff. So in terms of guests, we can basically automate it as long as there's like a reliable way we can sort of read the data from somewhere. So like if there are show notes that sort of in a consistent format provide the Twitter handle of people, or probably that's the best way, or it's a little more work, but if you have like a spreadsheet somewhere where you're keeping track of either their Twitter handle or their Discord ID, or even better, their wallet address, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Then that, I mean, the spreadsheet version is the easiest for us, but we can also, if it's sort of posted in a public place somewhere in a consistent format, then we can read up that information, and we just need it to be able to associate with the ID of the person. And that ID, I'm guessing for your podcast guests, is probably going to be easiest to be like their Twitter handle, but maybe there's something that's even better or easier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or Discord if they're all coming through the server on their way to you. But I don't know if that's the case. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because we haven't put anything in place yet. We're still kind of exploring, a lot of different. I'm just reading what Ernest just wrote. But yeah, a different way: A, to grow the listenership; B, to build in some kind of value for, like what HQ. I don't want to relate everything to what HQ is doing, but where you've got an episode that maybe really resonates with people, or if the guest is really good, it's a motivation for them too. And somehow then that episode, if that episode takes off or whatever, or 2 years, what I've learned from listening to other podcasts and stuff, and people that have been working at it for a while, maybe they didn't get a lot of traction initially, but then suddenly there was an inflection point, and then their back catalog starts getting traction. And so what I would really love to see like some of our early guests that have been really great, and or even nervous about coming on and end up being fantastic, to 2 years from now or whatever, a year from now, it's like one of the most popular episodes, and they have some kind of